Please.
Distinguished colleagues, the laws of the various regional development agencies will have to be tinkered with to bring it in tandem with the recently created Ministry of Regional Development by the President. So there are a few things that we must do. Part of it is the funding arrangement. That's what we're discussing. And if it is a ministry, it simply means that it's most likely going to come with the yearly envelopes. And therefore, what we had was nebulous and needs to be tinkered with. So the civil Senator Kaka, you lead the Senate as we pass the South-South Development Commission Establishment Bill. You lead the Senate as we amend the Northwest. You lead the Senate as we amend the Southeast, so that all provisions will be mutatis mutandis. And then at the same time, it will not be confusing. It will be unambiguous in order to allow for easy operation. So we can go back to clause 1, and thereafter we take clause 2. As discussed and as amended. You then bring it up to the floor. So let's take our time, because what we amend here will eventually form what will be the amendment in the other development commissions. In the zonal development commissions, I mean. Yes. No, let's, when we get there, let's get to the clause. Then you move the motion. So there is established for the commission a body to be known as the governing board, indeed be referred to as a board, which shall consist of a chairman. We should put B, managing director. Can somebody move a motion for that? Kaka? The board, the managing director should be part of the board, not just chairman. It's just to mention the designation there.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, Kakasho Nawam, Borno Central. I stand to move that the managing director be moved up to be part of the management board. I so move, sir.
Yeah, distinguished Senator Dixon.
Henry Siraka Dixon, Bayelsa West, I so second. So B will be MD, managing director.
So we now have clause 2, 1A, chairman, clause 2, 1B, managing director, then clause 2, 1C will now change to one person who shall be an indigene to represent the following states. In the case of South-South, the 6 states are listed. And one person to represent the Federal Ministry of Finance. Is that necessary? So that will be deleted. One person to represent the Federal Ministry of Environment. Will that be necessary? That will be deleted in view of the emergence of the Ministry of Regional Development. Of course, we have moved up the managing director to B, so G will not be necessary. In the place of H, because we have a managing director in the case of South and 5 executive directors, so that every state will be represented in management. No, 5, because the managing director will come from the state that produces the managing director will no longer produce any executive director. So, distinguished Senator Kaka, you may wish to move a formal motion to amend.
Mr. President, I still want to emphasize that we must have representative from the government ministries, whichever one is necessary, whether it's going to be from the new ministry or from the core ministry involved in that zone.
You have already a minister in charge of regional development. So why do you want to bring another ministry to run to conflict with the decision of the Minister of Regional Development? If it was not a ministry, it would be a different thing. This will all form part of the parastatal ministry. So do you want to bring
There's no point to overflow this issue. You said it, and it's very clear. Now we have a ministry that takes care of all these commissions. So let's move on. I move that all those items that you mentioned should be deleted. I so move.
Senator Sani Musa?
My name is Mohammed Sani Musa, representing Niger East Senatorial District. I so second the motion as moved by the Deputy Senate President. So second.
Thank you. Distinguished colleagues, the motion has been moved and seconded that the items on representation from solid minerals, from other federal ministries should be deleted. That one person to represent the other geopolitical zones should be retained. So there will now be one managing director representing one state, and since there are 6 states, the other 5 executive directors will represent the other 5 states in the management. The motion has been moved and seconded. Those who are in support of the amendments as listed say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Senator Kaka, note in terms of cleanup and in terms of working with the
Sorry that I'm taking us briefly back to 2C. That is the one that talks about representation from the oil producing companies. Mr. President, considering the peculiarity of the zone for which we are establishing this, and knowing that this body will actually be managing community issues, I think it will be helpful, our national security and protection of facilities, if we make provision for representation from the oil producing companies to be there, to create that synergy, so that if they have challenges in communities and the government is spending money, they can also help to manage communities.
I'm not against your suggestion,
yes,
but I want you to remember that we have not abolished the Niger Delta Development Commission. This developmental agency is different from Niger Delta Development Commission, which takes care of communities impacted by oil exploitation and exploration. So in that one, you must have the oil companies represented. In the developmental agency here, this is very straightforward. It doesn't have anything to do with oil companies or mining companies or anything. I hope you understand. So, yes.
Even the points of order, the observation made by Senator Sarake Dixon is for all purposes an academic exercise. An academic exercise in the sense that under Order 52.5, okay, because you have already decided on that, you cannot reopen it. Oh, okay, it's okay, you have won. Thank you.
Your point of order is obeyed.
Okay.
Okay, so now there is a difference between management and board. We've just discussed 5 executive directors and 1 managing director. And then, of course, to compose the board properly, there will be need for representatives of the communities who are not part of the management to know what is going on. Senator Kaka, do you understand? So the board should have in a subsection 2, there is 2.2. The chairman and other members of the board shall be appointed by the president subject to the confirmation of the Senate, must be persons of proven integrity and ability. The members of the board referred to in subsection 2.1. No, you can shall be part-time. Now, I think that we should now include 1 person representing each of the states as members of the board, as distinct from executive directors. So when the board is meeting, in the case of South, for instance, the board will now have community representation who are not members of the day-to-day running of the organization. So the Senator Kaka, look at the appropriate location to put that. And those are the people that will be appointed by the president. In addition to the executive directors, they will all form members of the board. The 5 executive directors, the managing director, the chairman, but also 1 person to represent each of the states who are not members of the management. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. President. I think your explanation is very helpful, but just for greater clarity, maybe it might be helpful if we say, provided that wherever, in every state, for example, you have 3 senatorial zones in each of the states of the Federation, and each of the states covered by these commissions. So if we can add, just for purpose of spread, that provided that wherever a board member comes from part-time, the management board that the governing board representative shall come from another senatorial zone. So you don't have a situation where all two in a state are coming from one senatorial zone. That will guarantee spread and leave no room for exclusion of.
I'm afraid because, as I said, there is a member, you have a governing council. Okay. That's what we are discussing now. Eh?
Board member. These are board members. As you see, one person to represent the 6 geopolitical zone. These are the board members by the president. So if we now bring these 6, in addition to this, they are almost 11. No. They are the board. One person, the chairman MD. These are the board members. That has appointed.
Is there anything wrong
in adding?
Is there anything wrong in having an extra person to represent the state?
These are 6.
Because a little bit director may not.
It is 12, 14. 14 of them. They are 14. 14. If we add another 16, we 20.
So what do you suggest?
Because other development, if we are doing mutatis, other development commissions are like this. Except if we add for this, we are also adding for those ones.
Don't forget that we have removed up to 6 from all those environment, finance,
Yes.
this, that. So
we are
it
replacing those ones.
will be good for every state to have two
That is
members.
fair. That is absolutely fair.
So that one will be executive, maybe non-executive, to meet the activities of the. I know what.
You are Minister for Niger Delta.
I know what.
So sorry.
We are on speaker.
You said you have preference for managing director.
No, what I'm saying.
Go from you is
No,
couch.
just okay, no. Any discussion is any discussion yes. Clause 2, 1 to H as amended. Those in support say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 2.2, the chairman and other members of the board shall be appointed by the president subject to the confirmation of the Senate. Let's amend that to include the chairman and managing director. The chairman, managing director, and other members of the board shall be appointed by the president. Yes, Senator Dixon, you wish to propose amendment so that 2.2 to include that the chairman, the managing director, and other members of the board shall A, be appointed by the president, and B, persons of proven integrity.
Thank you, Mr. President. Henry Siraki Dixon, Bayelsa West. I rise to propose an amendment to section 2, sub 2, to the effect that the chairman, the managing director, and the executive directors
Exactly.
shall all be appointed by the president. I so move.
Thank you. He's saying that the chairman, the managing director, the executive directors, and other members of the board shall be appointed by the president, subject to the confirmation of the Senate. Senator Olamide, do you second the motion?
Thank you, Mr. President. Adiola Solomon Olamileko. I rise to second the motion as moved by Senator Saraki Dixon. I so move.
The motion has been moved and seconded that clause 2 in verse Senator Kaka, is it really clause 2 or 3? Look at it. Is it 2 or 3? Because you said clause 2 should be that the commission shall be a body corporate. Then why 2:1? You don't understand. I'm saying that after you have finished with clause 2, there shall be a body corporate. The next should have been clause 3. So everything should now be clause 3:1, clause 3:2. That you know. Huh? No, use your mic. Use your mic.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, we inserted clause 2, subsection 1 to 4. However, with your wise counseling, we will now make it to clause 2 to be 3. So we can, I now move for, I move to amend that the renumbering, we renumber the subsections in clause 2. I so move, sir.
Senator Agadaga.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, Senator Chief Benson Agadaga is my name, representing Bayelsa East Senatorial District. I rise to second the motion, ably moved by Senator Kaka on the rearrangement of the sections. I so support, I so second. Thank you, Mr. President.
Distinguished colleagues, there is an amendment that after the body corporate, the establishment of the commission to be known as the governing board should actually be clause 3, and it's been seconded by Senator Gadaga. Those who support that we change this to clause 3 and with all the other prefixes following, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. So we proceed. We renumber all accordingly. So when you see section 2:1, you now put section 3. Yes, sir. Senator Sokwa. Distinguished colleagues, Senator Oshumole, Asuko move the motion. I want you to second this motion. Let him move the motion first. I know why. Based on the experience in Niger Delta Development Commission, when you start this idea of moving in alphabetical order, it should actually be among the member states, one after the other, you understand? Not necessarily alphabetical order, because sometimes alphabetical order, MD and chairman will fall into one state. You understand what I'm saying? And then you run into issues. It does happen. So this is what I'm looking at, that the office of the chairman and that of the managing director shall rotate amongst the member states of the commission. Full stop. So MD and chairman shall rotate amongst the member states of the commission. So it means that if you have held office as MD in state A, state B will have to take the MDship. And if A and B have taken, state C will have to take. And then later state D. And then the same thing with chairmanship. So at no time will you have a chairman and MD from one state. Because in the NDDC, they said that it shall be according to quantum of oil production. So the result is that when it became due for a particular state to take the chairmanship, that state coincidentally was also the highest in oil production. And so the chairman fell due for that state, MD fell due for that state, and we ran into problems. So I think we should just say that the managing director and the chairman shall rotate amongst the member states of the commission. No, you don't even need provided. You don't need provided. You don't need alphabetical order. All you need is provided that all states shall be given equal opportunity. Shall be treated fairly. But for purposes of elegance, for purposes of elegance, it's good to stop that it shall rotate amongst the member states.
Mr. President, Senior Chair, I move that I move that is your amendment to that clause as put forward by you, as explained by you. Please, I move.
Your Excellency, I so support that we should expunge the alphabetical order.
Distinguished colleagues, the motion has been moved and seconded that the issue of alphabetical order should be expunged to give every state equal opportunity. Those in support say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Did I hear nay? Okay. So clause 4, those in support say aye. Those against say nay. Clause 4 is returned.
I think the other issues are straightforward. Clause 5. Those in support of clause 5 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 6, clause 7. Those in support of clauses 6 and 7 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 8. Those who support that clause 8 be retained say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Structure of the commission. Clause 9. Those in support of clause 9 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.